It's another mail day here at Chetty and Lycan's Horror Party Massacre for Mr. Chetty. Grandma on Blu-ray. This is from, God, I don't even remember now. It's been a long time since did the Indiegogo on this one. We've been waiting for this for quite a while. This is a shot on video style horror flick, full of gore. Is this, who did this?
And you did an Indiegogo for this?
Yes. Bobby Knipe Jr. or Knipe. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I probably did because I'm just shitty at that. But this one stars folks like, the only name I really recognize is Angel Bradford. She's been in a lot of different independent horror flicks. Getting this thrown in the DVD, the Blu-ray player, because it's a Blu-ray. And we are going to check this out tonight.
No, we are not.
And Lycan is so excited for this.
Fuck you.
Pardon me? What the fuck? All right. We're going to watch this tonight, and Temple is so excited about this. Banshee is too. Well, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to have to wait till everyone goes. I'm going to have to wait till everyone goes to sleep.
You're the only one.
But I'm going to dig it, man.
You're the only one.
Shush.
And then you'll probably bitch about it for an hour.
No. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. I'm going to put out a trigger warning. If you at all had anything to do with this film, if you had any part in the creation of this film, this might not be the review for you, because I'm going to be brutally honest and I'm not going to be nice. So, with that being said, the movie we are going to be talking about today is Grandma. Now, this movie I was super excited for when it was first announced, because it was going to be a homage to the shot on video greats of the yesteryear, of the 80s and the 90s. Movies like Video Violence and Truth or Dare, The Ripper with Tom Savini, Terror at 10 Killer. It was going to be a homage to those movies. The director was going to be tapping the knowledge and experience of several shot on video directors, such as Tim Ritter. God, I can't think of them all now, but there were several that he was going to be, in contact with and getting advice from and so forth. It was going to star some great B-movie actresses such as Brink Stevens and Michelle Bauer and Deborah Dutch. And it's been finished for a while now. What I had done is I had gotten the Indiegogo. I put money in for the Indiegogo to get a pre-release Blu-ray. And that pre-release Blu-ray happened to arrive 2 days after it was released on digital, and probably a month or two before it was released a month or two after it was released on VHS. So much for the pre-release that it was supposed to be. I'm mad at myself for putting money in towards this movie. I'm mad at myself for wasting time watching this movie. This movie is complete and utter fucking garbage. I hated this movie. I hated it. The premise is pretty straightforward. No horseshit around. Grandma ran a bed and breakfast that she had a restaurant attached to. The food at her restaurant was victims, tourists that went through that she had murdered and cut into little pieces, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, apparently. So she was killing people, chopping them up, storing parts of their bodies in wherever, and cooking up for the attendees to her restaurant, which was known for its great food. Um, Basic storyline or basic backstory, move forward to present day. Some young girl, some young adult buys the property that this was on. Um, Grandma was found out about. She ran off and disappeared and was never seen, never found. Her and her son. Um, they tore down the restaurant portion of the bed and breakfast and left the bed and breakfast intact to just rot. Flash forward to present day, a young adult purchases the property, the bed and breakfast, with the intention of fixing it up and reopening it. She gets two of her friends to join her on a trip to this property in the cleanup process. And of course, surprise, surprise, Grandma or someone dressed up like Grandma, complete with a Grandma mask and Grandma hair, is still there, and death and mayhem ensue. Pretty basic story. Nothing, didn't really expect a whole lot out of that. The quality of this film is just utter, complete garbage, as I stated earlier. This was supposed to be a shot on video style, and it may have looked like a shot on video before they added whatever effect afterwards to make it look like a VHS. It does not look like a shot on video anymore. It does not look like an old VHS tape, even though they put in the background the little popping sounds and little static, tracking static. They put at the very beginning of the film the sound of a VHS tape going into the player and the blue screen with the play over here and the timestamp and all that shit. The movie looks like shit. I have never seen a shot on video movie that looks like this or as bad as this. I've never seen a VHS tape that's looked as bad as this. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I was born early 70s, and my teenage years were spent in the 80s. I graduated in the late 80s. I've seen shot on video. I've bought bootleg VHS from conventions. I bought VHS from Best Buy that looked like they were a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. None of this resembles anything like that. This is even worse than anything I've ever witnessed. At the very least, if it would have looked like a shot on video, it would have held a certain degree of entertainment just for a nostalgia reason. The colors in the movie, I don't know what I don't know what the technical term of it is, but the colors were really bled out. They had practical effects, however, you couldn't really tell what you were seeing with those effects except a big splotch of red. You couldn't tell if he was cutting their throats other than maybe having the arm up like this and, sawing. There was one scene where the killer has plucked the eyeballs out of a victim and is dangling them in front of his face. You can't even tell if they are eyeballs he's dangling or if they're a set of testicles pulled from a nutsack. It's just so piss poor and horrible. Literally, when someone dies, when they get slashed, you don't see a cut. You just see a big red area. I mean, it's fucking annoying as all shit. Now, I don't expect greatness. I did not expect to be wowed by the effects. I've seen Cannibal Campout. I've seen the effects that were there. I've seen Truth or Dare. I've seen those effects. I've watched Video Violence 1 and 2. I know what to expect from effects in these movies. I couldn't tell if you were even close to those kind of effects with this because the color bleed that occurs was so intense you can't really make out very much at all. I know you're not supposed to, but at least you should be able to determine what the fuck is happening here. The acting is subpar. It's not very good. One of the leads is Angel Bradford, who is always pretty standout in all of her roles. I think her performance really suffered in this just for the simple fact that everything around her was just a big steaming pile of shit. There was no way that any one particular actor or group of could pull this movie out of the not even the sewer, the abyss. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words on how to describe. The music, I mean, you can't really say much about the music. It was there. Nothing spectacular about it. One of the other big things that is a real pisser with this movie is it's the first names in the credits. One of the big pushes on the Indiegogo campaign. One of the big things, not taunted, but flaunted, is they got Brink Stevens, they got Michelle Bauer, they got Deborah Dutch. I shit you not. I shit you not. Those actresses are in the movie for 1 fucking second, if that. They are in the beginning scene where they are doing the backstory of Grandma's restaurant. And there are people at the restaurant going when they find out they're eating people. And that's it. And it's just flashes. There's no speaking parts. It's just make a face, get a paycheck, go the fuck home. Are you fucking kidding me? They never show up again throughout the entire fucking movie. They're not even cameos. They could have put a picture of Michelle Bauer screaming, and that would have been more than enough. That would have been more than what we actually got of the actress. I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Like, I cannot fucking believe this. I've never seen something that fucking blatantly bullshit. Special features on there. They've got one that is Grandma Goes to Carolina Chainsaw Festival. What a fucking joke. That was shitty fucking filming that's supposed to, again, be an old wadded up fucking VHS tape of her moshing around in a thrash pit to some death punk metal bullshit. You know I like my metal music. I love my metal. This was fucking garbage ass music. I'm sorry. I could not. I had to mute the fucking thing. The music was so bad. It was so not my taste. You've got a short little interview with the director, Bobby Knipe. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mispronounce your name, but there's a little interview with him that 9 minutes long. A little interesting, a little depressing, hearing how much he loved certain movies like Cannibal Cookout or Cannibal Campout, but depressing because if you love it so much, how could you trash that style of filmmaking so badly? If you grew up on this shit, if you loved it, how can you fuck up paying homage to it with that crap? One of the things that we do here at Chetty and Lincoln's Horror Party Massacre, we're legit. We're real. We don't sugarcoat shit. We don't save people's feelings. We're straight up. We're not going to kiss your asses. We're not going to lie. We're not going to play bias. I'm glad. When I say this, I mean it sincerely. I'm happy and I'm glad that the makers of this movie have that passion for filmmaking and that they have the means to go out and do it and the motivation to do it. It's more than I could ever do myself. I've always wanted to, but it's more than what I could ever do. I'll admit that right now. But goddamn, this was a fucking piece of garbage. This isn't even. I normally this kind of movie I would do a what a piece of shit review sitting in the bathroom. I'm not even gonna stink up my toilet with how bad this fucking thing was. So, Grandma. I wish there was a Cannibal Campout Part 2 and 3 because I would rather watch that fucking trilogy before I watched another second of Grandma.
I like it spooky.
I want to thank you. Anything you want, you just name it.
Fucking pissed. I hate this fucking movie so bad. I'm trying to figure out if I want to burn it or if I want to stick it in a pile of cat litter. Stay spooky.